Happy Monday, everybody. Our world is a different place today, is it not? It's still good to be alive. It's still so good to be alive. Even in the midst of all the fear mongering that's going on and the worry, the concern, the waking up and just going, wow, did I just land on a movie set? you know, I know that a lot of people are feeling that the silence that has been bestowed upon us from our current times and the pandemic that has hit our world as a society. Many people look out into the streets and are overwhelmed by the silence, overwhelmed by the lack of community that they are seeing. I look around my own neighborhood and everybody's blinds are closed and, nobody's in the backyard. I hear birds chirping, which is a beautiful thing. There's a mistiness out, which definitely has its beauty to it, but at the same time, an eeriness. And the eeriness comes from now a few weeks of slower movement in the world and definitely in my community and everything. And, as we look around and really watch the news, as so many people are doing, it's hard not to get wrapped up in the fear. It's hard not to. And even for myself, who I don't watch the news frequently, and I really try to stay off of the media because I know how the media runs and how so many different things tend to, really things that power plain. And, it's one of those things that as we focus on fear, anybody, the manifestation world, law of attraction, or just wants to be a firm believer and show their faith, whether you are Christian or metaphysical or some spiritual, it doesn't matter. Everything preaches the same thing. And focus in on love, to focus in on joy, to focus in on gratitude, and to have in the God, right? Fear it completely takes all of our certainty away. We lose our hope. We lose the ability to really be able to have clarity in our life. Yesterday was a really rough day for me, I will admit. I my Crusader nature came out. I wrote an article and then I didn't post it, and I wanted to get on a live stream. Did you guys hang with me? Alas, internet seems to be more of a popular thing these days. Yesterday I wanted to do a live stream. My heart and soul felt like it was bleeding for our world. And I found myself battling myself between anger and I'll be going to my bedroom now. Levi, can you check on them, please? Take you to my bedroom. I was battling between sadness, worry for our world, and downright anger. Just anger over how easy it is for us to give up our rights, how easy it is for us to be blinded to the truth, how easy it is at the end of the day for us to be swallowed up by fear. And that's what it's really about. And I do get very, very frustrated at our fear and all of our certainty, all of our hope, all of our belief. We run around and we are a human race that we have all of this faith in God, or that we feel empowered, and watch all these amazing leaders out there all caving to fear as well. Fortunately, when our leaders cave to fear, and then everybody else caves to fear as well, right? And And then I moved through that. This morning I woke up in a completely different mood, much like I'm sure everybody is kind of going through these mood swings of topsy-turvy and not knowing exactly what will today bring. What is today about? And yeah, every day I have been feeling like I'm waking up on some strange movie set. I'm waiting for either zombies to pop out or, it's like, I love the movie, The Never Ending Story, like the nothing is coming, or, Stephen King's book and the movie The Langoliers. I'm just like, or The Silence, all these different movies, because when you go outside, all you hear is the birds, right? All you hear is the birds, and it's just like, do I really want to look around? Or do I really, because something might actually come and get me in the midst of this, especially for those of us who live in cities where we have typically a lot of hustle and bustle around us. If I was sitting up in the Sierra Nevadas where I grew up, out in the middle of basically nowhere, this would be more normalcy. And that's the word that I've been hearing, normalcy. I had somebody message me yesterday, sent me a picture of a bunch of water bottles from whatever store they were at. And the statement was, there's some normalcy coming back to the stores. And I thought, isn't that exactly what this allows our fear to dwindle, when we feel normalcy coming back? But does that mean that the fear is gone? No. Does it mean that we have nothing to fear because we have normalcy coming in? No. Normalcy is an illusion. Normalcy can be painted, in front of us, and it can make us feel safe. It can make us feel that our world is going back to what it is. This pandemic that we have experienced, and even more so the panic from the pandemic that we have experienced, has ever changed our world, our economy. Anybody who thinks that the economy is just going to go back to what it was 3 weeks ago or 3 months ago for other parts in the world is smoking something, and it's definitely messing with the brain cells, because our economy is never going to be the same. Just the way our world functions is going through massive changes right now. The way we deal with each other is going through massive changes. You cannot have something hit the world society as this, and the fear that has now been infiltrated into every aspect living and breathing and believing, and it not significantly change our world culture. But what is it that we can do? Do we lean into fear? Of course, I've been preaching this now forever, because even prior to this pandemic, what was my message? To not lean into fear. And we always lean into fear. There's so many people out there that long before any pandemic sat in fear, sat and worried about everything, and really brought their energy wavelengths down, their frequency down, and then looked out into the world and was like, why is my world the way it is? Why is my world, like this little circle of my world, my house, my bills, my finances, my sex, my relationships, my children, my job, my health, why is it like the way it is? I want what they have. I want what I see out there. Well, guess what? This is absolutely no different. Now, yes, we have a critical mass of fear that is occurring. It has tremendous momentum on our world, which is going to shift us. It is going to shift us, and we get to choose, though, how we shift. If each and every individual that possibly can, that has an understanding of the law of attraction, that understands vibration, frequency, thought to emotion to physical action, just a hair, if each one of us does our part, then we can actually shift into a higher consciousness. We can actually shift into a more beautiful space than shifting into something that's dark, something that potentially can be dark. But we've got to bring our vibrations together. We've got to focus in on the gratitudes, which I'm sitting there with my coffee, and I really just took in the stillness as beauty instead of as fear, because every single thing of the spectrum to it, right? We get to choose where we throw our pendulum on this one. Do we throw it into love and into beauty, or do we throw it into darkness and fear? Our power most certainly does not come from fear. We render ourselves powerless when we are based in fear. We render ourselves blind and deaf mute and dumb when we are focused on fear. But what does give us power is when we're focused in on beauty. And I'm not talking about physical beauty. I'm talking about the beauty of being grounded. I'm talking about the beauty of the blessings that we do have. I'm talking about the beauty of that the grass is green and the flowers are blooming and the birds are chirping. And yes, there is change, which is always occurring, by the way. Nothing ever stays the same. And even the beauty of this change, although it might feel like there's a sense of not normalcy, and that can be edgy and maybe scary for those who want to focus on the fear of change. Change always is that way, right? But it's pushing us to expand. That's all it's doing. When we feel that fear, we're being requested to expand our thinking, to expand our feeling, to expand our vision, to expand those things that we have buried deep inside of us, but that really need to come out. Let yourself grow in this time. I ask you, what are your goals for the next 90 days? And it may seem like, well, this is a crappy time to go focusing in on goals, but a lot of people are choosing not to do that. A lot of people are couch surfing. A lot of people are, Netflixing their life away in fear and drinking their lives away and not taking care of their physical bodies and knocking their immune systems down even more and focusing in on media to a massive amount, focusing in on the fear, which locks their minds down, locks their thoughts into one particular passageway, locks their emotions into that same passageway, and creates an inability to move, an inability to create. This is a birthing time. This is a time that you get to choose. You get to choose what comes out of this for your life. The world economy is changing, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. The way that our world is moving, it's changing. Our physical actions is not going to change anything right now. But the physical actions that you take in your house, with your body, with your mind, with your actions in your house, with the way you are choosing to be emotionally connective with your people in your world, in your house, those closest to you, connecting here on social media. Are you reaching out to people? Are you connecting with them? What are you doing to better your community, whatever that community might be? How are you shining light into it? That's the things that you need to be asking yourself. Those are the actions to be taking. Those are the power plays that you can make no matter what your living situation is, no matter where you're at in this world. You can choose to connect. You can choose to expand yourself. You can choose to grow everything that is inside yourself, to go inward, to learn about loving yourself, to learn about loving your neighbor. Or you can focus in on the darkness. You can focus in on the fear, and you can add to that momentum. Remember, momentum, it has to burn out at some point in time, right? So while the momentum of this darkness is raging and burning out throughout our world, much like a forest fire that is purifying everything as well, that's probably what is going on. And the bigger scheme of things, if we were to look at this whole ordeal more through heaven's eyes, right? From a bigger, growing up in Northern California, we have forest fires there every single year. Every single year. And I grew up just in the foothills outside of Truckee, Tahoe. And there's always a fire that takes out part of the foothills. And it just purges the land. And it's scary. And lots of death occurs. And for a year and a half, the land is desolate and black and seeming without any life. And then as if overnight, all of a sudden, a bunch of green grass starts to blossom and tree sprouts start to come back and flowers start emerging and popping up. And you see animals that weren't there for the last year all of a sudden popping up, and the world becomes beautiful. And that part of the forest, it just is immaculate and so luscious within no time at all. Well, let's look at this as exactly that. Now, I'm not saying that all the death is a purging, but there is an energy shift that is going on. There's an energy shift that is going on, and we have a choice to look at this as though it is a cleansing of the actual earth, because Mother Earth Guess what Mother Earth is doing? As us human beings run around and try to figure our crap out and try to save each other and do lockdowns and create fear. And I just saw that people are running around and going to doors and saying, here in the United States, that people are running around going to doors and offering up coronavirus testing to get into people's houses to rob their neighbors, their communities, and to cause havoc that way. Oh, by the way, that's not legal, by the way. So don't let anybody in. Just FYI, if somebody comes knocking on your door and you didn't actually call them there to take the test, it's not real. It's not real. So don't let them in. But we are doing these kinds of things. And what is Mother Earth doing? Mother Earth is healing. Over and over again, I hear all these reports about animals that haven't been seen, about new growth coming in, about the waters getting cleaner, about the pollution in the air getting cleaner. You know that there has been a massive amount of earthquakes happening during all of this as well over the front end of this year, all over the world. I think Mother Earth is a little bit irritated. She's going, no, I've got to scratch my back here. I got to get rid of a little bit of this darkness that's upon me. And unfortunately, we are nothing more than just residents on this planet. And what makes us fear our, existence, which makes us fear death so much and seems so horrible to us, is nothing more than part of the circle of life, right? Now, do what you can to take care of yourself. Stay mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, physically healthy. Take care of yourself. Boost your immune system. Fresh air. Make sure that you get the sun. Make sure that you're eating properly. If you're eating a bunch of crap food, those fast foods, everything's open drive-through still for most of the world, right? Well, guess what? The fast food's not healthy for you. The fruits and vegetables are. Yeah, drinking lots of water, getting good sleep. Sitting in front of the TV watching, all the movies and Netflix and YouTube that you possibly can is not doing your body any good. Making sure that you are having some exercise, getting that outside time, laughter, joy, focusing in on your gratitudes, on your blessings. Hey, your lungs are still working. The blood is still moving through your veins. For most of us, we have a roof over our head and food in our fridge, and some people have an excess amount of toilet paper. So there's a lot to be grateful for, right? There's a lot to be grateful for still. The world is moving forward. Mankind will survive this. And for those of us who are wanting to make the world a better place, and if that's you, wanting to be the change that you want to see in this world, then your own world. Start with your mind, start with your emotions, start with your heart. Allow yourself to go there. Allow yourself to feel the pain that the world is in right now, but at the same time, allow your heart to expand in gratitude and to focus in on loving yourself, loving your families, and loving your neighbors, because that's the way through. That's the way to really, truly make an impact on this world. Start preaching the things that you want to hear instead of the things that you fear. Because remember, where attention goes, energy flows, and that is what grows. That's what expands. So watch your words, because those things really do manifest into tomorrow. On that note, of course, all my local events are postponed. If you have signed up for a local event that is coming up in the next 60 days, know that you will be seeing that it is postponed. If you have paid for it, then you will either receive a credit or a refund on that. It is your choice. You may message me on any of that stuff coming up. I do predict in my heart of hearts, I'm pretty sure that by summertime, we will have moved through this with, wherever we're supposed to be at the end of the day. And summertime will probably be a very hustle bustle kind of way of being, because we will have all been cooped up and we will be coming back out into the light physically back out into community and exploring. So know that my events will be here come summer and fall. Everything is moving forward. I will make sure that those updates, as I can get those settled, go up on my website, on Facebook, on Meetup, and all of those. On a note as to what I am doing for community, online community, I do have the coronavirus 10 safeguards that I am going to be teaching this Saturday. If you have signed up for it, you will be getting a refund from me because I have decided this morning that I will be doing that as a free event for everybody here on my Facebook following. So know that if you sign up, you're getting your money back, and that will be a free event. I do have a couple group events that will be coming in. I am going to be teaching some online Tantra classes for couples and for singles to help you to embrace yourself, to really, I've just got done talking about your thoughts and your emotions and your physical and community, and guess what's really lacking? Touch is lacking, and beauty is lacking, and love is lacking. So I will be putting out a couple classes, online workshops that you can sign up for, focused in on tantric touch work and connection work to help you get through these trying times and to bring a little bit of love into self and into the relationship that you have right there in your home. Some of it will be sexual, some of it will not be sexual. So I'm going to give you the full scope of Tantra the best I can in a couple different workshops. I also have coming out coaching for the vagus nerve, and these are home practices so that you can stimulate your vagus nerve, reduce your anxiety, reduce inflammation, and increase feel life and to tap into gratitude. So look for those two things to come out this week. If you have any questions, definitely message me, comments, private message, email, text, whatever is appropriate for you to connect with me. I am here for you, and as always, I'm always accepting one-on-one clients for different avenues of my in this time to really be able to get the support and the connection. I do have clients all over the world. I'm accessible. I have 2 spots open for that currently. And remember, you are worthy. You are worthy of a beautiful life. And even though our world is in disarray right now, it doesn't mean that your internal world has to be in disarray. Right now is the time for you to claim your worthiness, to claim the life that you want, and to build it. You are being given the perfect ground to plant the seeds for you to have the life that you want. Let me assist you in that. Remember, stop existing, start living. I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee.